Susan Lucci breaks her silence on a possible GH and Erica Kane crossover. Lucci made it clear she would not return for a cameo, but said she would listen if there were real work involved. All My Children's Jackson Montgomery showed up in Port Charles in 2023, joining a General Hospital story as if he always belonged there. That kind of appearance tends to leave a door cracked, even after the scene moves on. So when Erica Kane's name surfaced occasionally, it didn't feel like a stretch or a stunt, but rather something viewers had already been half expecting because of ABC's shared soap universe. Susan Lucci, Kane's portrayer on AMC, recently acknowledged that it was a question she'd already asked herself and hadn't completely set aside. Susan Lucci acknowledged she has already considered the idea of Erica Kane appearing on GH. She said she would not want to do a cameo, but would be open to listening if asked. She emphasized that any appearance would depend on whether there was meaningful work involved. She described work at this stage of her life as a choice rather than an obligation. Lucci connected her openness to greater candor following personal loss and life changes. Erica Kane in Port Charles. Lucci spoke to Woman's World while promoting her new memoir, and the conversation drifted, as it always seems to, toward what still lingered. When the subject of GH came up, she didn't dress the answer up or push it away. "I wouldn't want to do a cameo," she said, and then paused long enough for the word to settle before adding, "but I would certainly listen if they call." That distinction mattered. It wasn't about making a quick appearance or chasing a moment. It was about whether there was real work waiting on the other side of it. She talked through the practical stuff, family, distance, what that kind of commitment would actually mean now, and she did it without drawing a hard line either way. What was clear was that she had never thought of Erica Kane as a novelty. The character had always been about momentum and control, about walking into rooms with intent and not apologizing for it afterward. Dropping her into Port Charles would only make sense if that energy stayed intact. Revisit the moment Lucci won her first daytime Emmy. Why the timing felt different. Lucci had been open about how much had changed since her last memoir, including the loss of her husband and the long process of finding her footing again. "I felt like half a person," she said of that period, describing how far removed the idea of acting once seemed. Her honesty continued as she further explained that work for her now is a choice, not an obligation. She also spoke about becoming less guarded over time, about letting people see more of who she actually was, rather than the polish they expected. "I'm super proud of my candor," she said, and it didn't sound like branding. It sounded earned. That honesty was what made her answer about GH feel real. If Erica Kane ever walked into Port Charles, it wouldn't be because the past called loudly enough. It would be because the present gave her a reason to answer.